Stop wasting your brain power and start using it in order to create the life that you want. You were meant for so much more. I don't care what you've achieved in life so far. We were meant for so much more. You are still here in the earth, and God has given you a brain and the power in order to use it. If you belong to Him, He has given you a spirit that lives on the inside of you, that is the spirit of truth and the spirit of power. But every human being, whether they belong to God or don't belong to God, He has given you a brain and an assignment. An assignment. God has given you an assignment for you to dominate the areas in your life that has been dominating you. Did you realize that most people just live, just exist? They don't even know what life is? Is that for you? You know, I'm in my 80s. As you know, I just had another birthday. So I'm an octogenarian, getting higher and higher in that. And what's happening is this. There are things that come at me, challenges in my body. But do you know what? I found a way in order to overcome them and to get stronger by doing it. I'm going to be like Joshua. I am stronger now in my 80s than I was in my 40s. And it's beginning to happen. Things happen to your body, but it's how you see it. You see, how you look at what you look at, how you look at the things on the outside determines what happens to them in your life. When I look at a problem, when a pain or some kind of ailment hits me, or something happens in my family, or happens in my finances, or happens in my emotions, any of those areas, first thing that I must do, and you must do it also, is how do I want to think about this? What do I want to happen to this? How am I going to look at it before I come to any conclusion? Before I open my mouth and let it overload and override me, what am I going to say to the problem? What am I going to say to the situation? What am I going to say to it first before I say anything about it? When you determine that you are going to expand, and utilize this brain that God has given you to think in the direction that you are to think, then your life automatically starts to get better. We have been conditioned, we have been trained to say what other people have said. Other people say, because you are. Well, if this happens, then this is what it is. You waste time on television, listening to all the medication, all the diagnoses, all the different things. Your child has ADHD or ADD, this happens and you have this, and you're slow here, and all of this. This is somebody else's opinion. That is not what God has said about you. And you have not learned how to challenge that thought. This is what we do in the Use Your Boundless Brain Power Challenge. We challenge thoughts. We kick over sacred cows, things that you have believed for a long time that was a lie, that was meant to keep you in a position of control. You are supposed to be the one that has the controls because they're on the inside of you. You're only 0.1% of this outside body. The rest is spirit. You are, some people call it quantum, some people call it spirit. It is spirit. God calls it spirit. Many people, as I said, calls it quantum. But the thing of it is this: your body, your outside body, its cravings, it's the things that it wants and how it wants to do things, controls most people. Now that's sad. Why would that little bit It's just like in politics and in so many other things. The smallest group of people, because they are the loudest, your body, your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, they make more noise than anything else. But there are ways to quiet them down. There are ways to let them know, sit there until I think about what I want to do with you. Think about when that illness, when that financial situation happens, when that thought comes, think about, no, that is not what I'm going to think. That is not true. Challenge it. Learn to challenge it. And when you do that, what you're doing is you're starting to create a life for yourself. You have creative powers. God made you that way. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are. I mainly talk to people 40 and above, but for some reason, young people like to hang out with me. Young people like to be around me. I enjoy being around them also. But the thrust of who it is that I'm talking to, who I have my programs and different things geared for, are us, are people that are 40, 50, 60, people that are starting to say, well, you're in the older generation. You can't learn this so easy. You can't learn how to do this. Find a young person to tell you how to use that phone. Find a young person to tell you how to do it. No. I have a brain. I have a mind. I have a spirit brain. I have a spirit mind, and I have a spirit body. I have a physical brain, a physical mind, and a physical body. But my inside tells my outside how it will act and react. I used to think that I was bad with math, bad with numbers, because it just bothered me. I mean, it just frightened me. And that was one of the things that I was taught when I was a little girl. A little girl, especially little black girls, you don't learn math, you don't learn numbers and whatever. But this was something that was really interesting. My mother, who had me in her 40s or whatever it was, she had us late. And she was from the South, but she could sit there and she could do all this with all of these numbers. My son, who used to sell drugs and used to count money and whatever it is, he could count it in his head. And I'm wondering, well, okay, why can't I? It was because of the way I thought about myself. Look at all those people on the corner. Look at all those drug addicts. Look at all those different people. Look at the people in banks, many of them, many people. But that we're telling younger people now, we're telling them, oh, just use the computer, just use this, just use this. No, use your boundless brain power. You have something that no one can take away from you. You have something in this brain that if all the computers go down, your brain still works. If all the networks go down, your brain still works. All of the AI things, all of those are good. All of those tools, they are great, but they are tools, and they're tools not to work on your brain, for you to use your brain to work on them. Make those things work for you. You are so much more than you have seen yourself as. It's because you have not realized the power that you have in your mind and in your brain. You can use it for good. That means productively, so that it helps other people. You grow, you expand, you're healthy, wealthy, and wise. Great relationships. Or you can use it to destroy relationships, to destroy your family, to make choices like a sheep. Oh, if these people don't think the same way you do, then have nothing to do with them, even if your family, not realizing that your life and how you live your life will provoke them to jealousy so that they will want to live like you. I have one of my coaches, fabulous man. And when he was starting to build his business and he was doing all of these things, none of his family, most of his family probably didn't, they didn't believe that he was going to be all of this. And now many of them are working with them because of what it is that he said and how it is that he saw. Myron is a off the hook man. His daughter, his son, his brother, all of these people. But he had to start doing just what you and I do. He had to speak to the situation, and he had to use the word of God to find out how he was going to operate. And just as I do, and I've done this even before I met him, that's what drew him to me and drew me to him, is that he operates by biblical principles. Everything that I'm telling you is biblically backed. And science is finally catching up to the Bible. So I want you to use your boundless. Nobody can pull it in but you. The brain that you have and the power that it is. Use that. Be authoritative with yourself and know that you are a producer. You are a creator. And your age does not stop you. What it does is it lets you know that you know more than those. Remember, those that are younger, those that have not gone through what you've gone through, take inventory. Realize the value in yourself. And then make yourself shine. This is the octogenarian, Dr. B.J. Baker, and I approve of this message. And I will see you on the next video.